Hey friend, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to talk about AI and the future of freelancing. How is AI impacting the future of freelance? A lot of people reach out to me. They say if freelancing is still relevant, is AI affecting the freelance job market and especially on Upwork? So my aim in this video is to try and answer all these questions for you. But first, I've created a course about freelancing on Upwork. It's about becoming a top 1% freelancer on Upwork. You'll find everything in there. It's a 2-hour course. I cover everything that helped me get over $80,000 of earnings on Upwork. So you can go find the link in the description below. And here you can see briefly what's the curriculum. I cover everything from the foundations, how to find jobs, how to research, how to negotiate, how to write proposals with examples, how to optimize your profile. Everything is in there. So if you're interested, the link is down below. So a question that a lot of people might be asking now, why should I pay you $80 per hour when ChatGPT can do this? That's something that you might hear from clients. And first of all, yes, the reality is that AI is here. AI can do a lot of things and AI can automate a lot of work, but the value isn't necessarily in getting responses from chatbots. And this is what we're going to see throughout this video, where you can still stand out and where you can still add your own expertise. The reality is ChatGPT cannot run a discovery call. You won't just make ChatGPT sit with a client, try to understand the requirements and convince them that the solutions that you offer is the best one. You can't do that. So you still need humans to go on discovery calls, understand the pain point, and then offer a solution for it. It cannot push back on a bad brief. When you use ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, they're usually always positive with whatever you say. And if they make mistakes and you point it out, they just say, sorry, you were right. So this is how AI is. AI is good, but as long as it gets the context and you are the one that delivers that context. It cannot take accountability when something goes wrong. You can. Worst case, it'll just tell you, hey, sorry, I made a mistake, let's change it. I remember once a few years ago, I was using ChatGPT to help me do some version control and I had a lot of bugs. So I used ChatGPT and I was just following blindly with the code it gave me. And at some point I pasted a code that completely deleted my project and there was no backup for it. I was so mad. And when I was insulting ChatGPT at the time, it just said, sorry, I can't do anything about it. I'm really sorry. So this is where your expertise and understanding of whatever you get from AI matters. And that's what the rate is for. It's not about just using ChatGPT, it's about the context, the business understanding, the value, the accountability, and all this stuff. So clients are not paying for your code, they're paying for your judgment. And that's what you're paid for domain expertise, problem framing, professional judgment, accountability, and translating the results into a meaningful business outcomes that the client can use. So when you see yourself as more than just someone that can perform a task by using certain tools, but someone that can deliver some outcomes and impact for the business, the narrative shifts. Yes, ChatGPT can do very powerful stuff, but ChatGPT cannot do any of the things that you see here in the screen unless you give it a lot of context and you brainstorm with it and all these things. But by itself, it can give you any response. And usually we all know that the first draft responses are really, really bad. If you're really into AI these days and you're using it as your co-pilot, then you're doubling or even tripling the speed and the productivity that you've had before. You can deliver results that usually used to take you 5 days in just 2 days and still charge your clients 5. For example, you used to do a complex analytics and some dashboards within 5 days and you charge clients for it $1,000 for that week or 5 days of work. Now with all these tools, you can still do it within 2 days and still charge them the $1,000. And that's not because you're cheating or you're stealing anything. It's because you are more efficient at delivering the same value, if not more. Because when you think of value and impact to the business, then everything changes. But if you just think of, I know how to code with Python, I know how to write a function, I know how to build a dashboard, then basically you just know how to use tools and you don't know how to translate those into real impact. So by using AI as your co-pilot, you can definitely code faster, analyze quicker, automate repetitive work, write and communicate, brainstorm, and all this fun stuff. So you can use GitHub Copilot, Claude, ChatGPT, N8N, all the stuff that you find online. For example, you can build slides by using Gamma, or you can write faster notes by using Notion AI features, or you can use your voice instead of typing by using something like Whisper or Talktastic or things like this. They help you just be more productive, be fast, and also be more accurate. So the math behind this AI leverage is very simple. AI doesn't lower your rate, it multiplies them. So if you make $80 an hour or $30 an hour or whatever, and you can deliver 10 times faster, it means that you can earn twice as much. If a project used to take you 30 days to deliver, now it takes you just 15, but you still negotiate the whole 30 days, that you just freed yourself half the time. You just gave yourself a 15 days holiday because you're just more efficient and you just do the job much better. Obviously, over time, the timeline that it takes for certain projects will decrease. If you used to take 1 week to do some analytics, in the future it's gonna just take 3 days, because even the clients will start adjusting to the fact that analysts now have tools that can make them faster and more powerful. But for now, you can do the same thing, the same delivery, much faster because you know how to leverage AI. And now you start to see that by using AI as your companion or co-pilot or assistant or friend, whatever you want to call it, it really multiplies everything that you're doing. As you can see here, the freelancer who uses AI will earns more per hour of actual effort. That is the entire point. So here is the thing, there is no middle ground. You either use AI to your advantage and you thrive, or you become at risk. Because the reality is, yes, AI is really capable, and the tools now are becoming so good that if you don't move a little bit, learn them, implement them in your workflows, then yes, there's definitely a risk. So that's a question that is valid, and that's why we're doing this video anyway. So the freelancers at risk are still the ones writing everything from scratch manually. No one writes manually things anymore, especially if it's repetitive. They're not building workflows. If something you do it every day the same way and you know how to do it step by step, create a workflow that does it for you. You cannot answer how you use AI in your work. You should be able to say, I use AI for brainstorming, I use it to fill in some Excel sheets for me, and I use it to do some discovery data analytics for me. Whatever. You need to know where AI fits in your system. You deliver at the same speed as 3 years ago, nothing worse than that. People need to adapt, and I hope you do as well. You compete on pricing instead of capability, and that's what we mentioned in the slides before. But the freelancers who thrives are the ones that use AI to deliver faster and take on more complex work. Before, we used to be limited to the skill sets that we had, but now with just a little bit of an understanding of certain things and with AI on our side, we can build more complex things. And don't let anyone else tell you the opposite, because we have, for example, software engineers that still can't accept the fact that AI can build outstanding applications. They will always criticize that there is something going wrong. But it doesn't mean that you cannot go and build your own mobile app these days. You just need to go and understand some good software engineering practices and implement them slowly in your app by using AI as your co-pilot. So the possibilities now are endless, and by using AI, you can just become better and better. You need to also ideally talk about it publicly, post about it, have some case studies so that people can see what you've built before. And that's very important, because if you made projects and only you know about them, then it's not really relevant. How can you showcase yourself then? You need to position yourself as an AI era specialist, not a generalist. Let's say you're marketing, become an AI marketing specialist. Let's say you're a data analyst, become an AI data specialist. Let's say you're AI engineer, then you're already really good at AI. So whatever you are, just incorporate more AI into your life. It's not just about throwing that word, it's about showing to everyone and to clients that you are really optimizing with the latest tools, and they want to see someone that is really up to date with all these things. So the clients who see freelancers using AI see them as more forward looking. They see them as more modern, credible, current, and this is to your advantage if you do it. And you can command higher rates by bringing more to the table. So instead of doing just ABC, what you were asked for, you can do that and say, hey, I noticed there are these gaps, I can fill them for you. Would you like me to give you, for example, an action plan for it? and then you can charge even more for those same projects. So you need an AI positioning strategy. So don't just use it, be known for it. And that's where having a social presence is important, like updating your Upwork profile or LinkedIn profile. I have here the LinkedIn logo and it says Upwork, but both of them. On Upwork, you should mention that you're familiar with AI tools, mention which ones and what you did with them. On LinkedIn, do the same. If you can even post in there, have some case studies, have some, I don't know, GitHub repositories where you have some AI projects, make some YouTube videos, have a blog, talk even about it in proposals when you're applying, still mention it briefly, especially if it's not about doing some AI work, but still mention that you're AI savvy and what you did before, very briefly. That builds a lot of credibility, and that's how you position yourself as someone trustworthy in this AI age. And finally, again here, you're going to find this QR code that you can scan, go directly to the freelance course that I've built on Upwork. This was one part of the course itself. So you're going to find a lot more in there. It's a 2-hour course. You'll find the link here or in the description, or you can directly scan the QR code here to show me some support. And I'm sure that you can find a lot of useful information in there. So if you take it, please leave a review or send me a comment or send me an email. Just tell me that you took it and hopefully you got your first clients or you found some higher quality clients. That's the best thing that I can hope for. Thank you for doing it anyway, and thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.